Hello, and welcome to the conclusion of Arcanum of Steamworks of Magic Obscurum. Let's head to
Greetings.
Kerghan.
Long have I waited for your arrival, and finally this moment has come. I am Kerghan, first of the Necromancers, voyager in the lands of the dead.
I see, not exactly the person I originally expected.
I would think not. Although the presence of Aranax tells me you already know much of my tale. At least as much as he deemed necessary in order to bring you into his confidence.
I've heard his side of the story. Tell me yours.
My life in the world you call Arcanum seems so very distant. The memories clouded like those of a child, and a child I was then, probing the darker magics, given glimpses of the truths yet to come.
The Council, were they right about the magics? Look at you.
Yes, look at me. And what do you see? A monster? An abomination? You've no idea what I've discovered. You see with eyes tainted by life, and all which that accursed state embodies. My vision is clear because of those magics you hold in disdain. And the Council, it is they I have to thank for it.
But they punished you. Why would you thank them?
In your world, your Arcanum, I was powerful. Perhaps the most powerful human magicka who has ever been. But to humans, cursed with our shortness of life, our brevity, what is this power? What can be learned in that impermanent spark that is our lives? Nothing. But here, in this so-called prison, there are no limits. There is no end.
I don't understand.
This place, this void, has no time as you know it. I've been here for more than 2,000 of your years, and yet I've aged not at all. I feel as I did the moment they sent me here, or as when the Dark Elves first called to me. Do you now see? Here I can do everything I did in your world, but I am unfettered by the chains of mortality that time hangs upon us.
But the Dark Elves thought they were calling to Aranax.
Yes, I know. Ironic, isn't it? It was on my ears that their feeble and pathetic cries had fallen. To me, Kerghan, who had defeated their master and thrown him in chains. Kerghan, who had manipulated them into subverting the Panari and weakening the wards. Kerghan, who used them to send me the dwarves of the Black Mountain clan, who have now finished the bridge back to Arcanum.
But why? If you like it so much here, then leave us alone.
I truly wish I could. My reasons for returning aren't what you'd think. I had no aspirations for power or domination like your companion Aranax did. Aspirations that I became the victim of. No. Those are the motivations of the living, and I no longer place myself among them.
Then what? What is it you want?
If only I could show you the places I've seen, you might understand the things I say. I've been to the desolate lands, wandered by those souls who still see the lands of the living, but wear the cloak of the dead. Blind to their own ends, they cry, passing through one another like shadows in the dying light of day. I've traveled to where souls rot in torment, pierced with the jagged shards of life and vision, clinging to memory, regrets of the flesh. I saw that this prison was of their own making, and the key was in unknowing, in release. And still, I traveled on. And finally, I came to the place where souls go to die, where the mirrored and worn spirits fall into an endless sea of gray, mirrored glass. And I lowered myself within, and lay there among them, and I almost did not return. And do you know what I found there? There, among the silent and battered shells of the innumerable, peace, enlightenment, truth. Only then did I realize that this place, this life, is an abomination, a horrible distortion of the natural order. This life, who mothered pain and fear and envy, these twisted children who exist only because we are here to feed them, to nourish them. This life, this afterthought, a disturbance, a mere ripple in that great dead sea, not even the cause, but merely an effect, sending these souls upward, screaming for release from the day they are torn from their waters. The effect of what? I do not know, nor do I care. Have you ever spoken with the dead? Called to them from this side? Pull them from their silent rest? Do you know what it is that they feel? Pain. Pain when torn into this wakefulness. This reminder of the chaos from which they had escaped. Pain at having to live. There will be no more pain. There will be no more chaos. I see your soul, traveler. It screams, tattered and spent. Do you feel its pull? Do you hear its wailing? It is within my power to calm these waters, and that is what I shall do.
Suppose that's a different sort of way of looking at things.
Hold on a moment. Might I speak with you?
Of course, Virgil.
What he is saying, it's not completely untrue. I've seen the places he speaks of, felt the peace and serenity of that great dead sea. It's not something I'll ever forget.
What are you saying, Virgil? You agree with Kerghan?
Of course not. I made my choice a long time ago, and I choose to stand with you. Yes, there is pain in life, pain and loss and sorrow. But there is also joy and the pleasures of growing and learning. You can't have one without the other, and I wouldn't want to sacrifice either. But in the end, I stand with you, whatever your choice.
Thank you, Virgil. As for you, Kerghan...
I can no longer tolerate the atrocities that this thing, this life has brought about. There will be peace. There will be quiet. Life will no longer be. And so I go to Arcanum to be an end to it. And then I will join the souls of the dead when it is done.
An interesting point of view. I can see the merit it holds.
And why not? I realize that you follow the way of the righteous, or at least that's the role you've decided to play. But you've yet to see the other side. Follow me, and I'll show you things you've never imagined.
Your offer is tempting, perhaps.
Are you daft, woman? Are you not listening to what this madman is proposing? He will kill every living being in both realms, including you.
I believe I can convince him he's wrong.
I think you have taken leave of your senses. I will allow you this attempt at a peaceful resolution, even though I doubt it has much hope of success.
We'll see. Now, Kerghan, I have a few words to say about this.
Splendid. I've spent the last 2,000 years developing my philosophy, but I'm always eager to hear another's thoughts. Please, proceed.
Very well. Let's speak of the nature of life and death.
Yes, let us speak of this. It is my opinion that the nature of life is accidental, that this reality we experience is merely a distortion of death. What say you, traveler?
As you've said, I've only my experience to draw from.
Yes, but what has that experience taught you? I know not the roads you've traveled, but I do know that all living things feel pain and loss. It's my opinion that they feel these things because they were never meant for what we know as life. Their souls are not equipped for it.
Hold, Kerghan. That assumption is based off of your experience.
Yes, you're correct. I concede you that point. But I have seen both sides, whereas you have only the lands of the living. Trust me when I say that the souls who are called back to this life are in the most excruciating pain. It's unnatural.
Yes, but perhaps that's the nature of those particular souls.
What do you mean? Are you faulting the souls of the dead for the meddlings of the living?
There's no rhyme nor reason. It's just the way things are.
I'm afraid that I don't agree with you. And even if I did, your observation about the randomness of fate or of life only proves my earlier point. The nature of life is chaos because of its unnatural existence. It just should not be here.
But I think souls are in pain because they hold on too tightly.
But you speak as if these souls have a choice when they're brought back. It's the mindless bravado of the living that subjects them to the vagaries of this life.
Let's see. 1 second, let me look this up. Okay, think I forgot it, or got it. No, but the pain is of their own making.
I'm willing to say you might be correct. But what proof have you?
Let's see. Okay. I've spoken with souls who weren't in pain.
Just because some souls have accepted the nature of this distortion doesn't justify its existence. If what you're saying is correct, then what is the nature of death? Of life? Which is the natural state? Why is there pain on one side and uncertainty on the other?
The distortion is caused by the eyes of which we choose to see.
Perhaps it is my own arrogance, my own bravado that has brought us here to this crossroads. The question is, where do we go from here? We've spoken of fate, of prophecy. Have I traveled this road too long to turn back? Perhaps I have no choice but to continue on to the end.
I think it's that one, but let me double check. Alright. No, I have a solution. I can free you once and for all.
Truly, I wish there were freedom for me. But I cannot let go of this life knowing that I might be called back to its pain. No, it seems I have no choice.
The Vendigroth device. It'll sever you from this world forever.
Really? You can sever the bonds which hold my soul to the lands of the living? This object can actually do that?
Yes, I can free you from the pain that you fear.
So many years I've raged against the living. All those years, and the distortion was in my own soul. No man can see the nature of his flaws with diseased eyes. The contradiction lies within me.
Let me end your journey, Kerghan. Go to your rest.
Yes, I thank you. And I'm sorry. So very, very sorry. Perhaps some souls are born into death. They never knew how to live.
Yes, I think you might be right.
Goodbye, traveler. My road ends here. I wish you luck on yours.
Goodbye, Kerghan. And thus, we defeated him without a fight.
Having joined with Kerghan in his quest to extinguish all life, you returned to Arcanum by his side and vanquished all that lived there. Kerghan then turned on you, In the ensuing battle, you narrowly defeated him, but at great cost to yourself. You
What?
are even now sitting upon the ruins of Arcanum, waiting for your end to come.
What? No. Let's see if this happens again.
Having joined with Kerghan in his...
Huh.
Greeting, I would think not. Although powerful you are, very powerful. But remember the lesson I once taught you. Remember that, and listen to the words I have to say.
Very well, your time is short. These words will be your elegy.
My life, in the world you call Arcanum, seems so very distant. The memories clouded like those of a child, and a child I was then, probing the darker magics, given glimpses of the truths yet to come.
Council knew of the evil of those magics. Look at you.
Yes, look at me, and what do you see? A monster, an abomination. In your world, this place, this void, has no time.
Fine, stay here.
I wish I could.
Then what do you want?
If only I could.
Skip.
I see your soul, traveler.
That's a different sort of way of looking
Hold
things.
on a moment.
Yes, Virgil.
What he is saying.
I heard it before.
Of course not.
Thank
I
you.
can no longer tolerate the atrocities that this thing, this life.
I see. You're really quite mad, you know.
It all depends on your point of view. Take yourself, for example. You've been told from the beginning of your adventure that you're the second coming of Nasrudin, the return of the living one. Do you believe it?
It's not really important either way. You're going to die.
Very well. I shall send you to that great dead sea, and then you shall know.
Splendid! I applaud your talent at smiting fools.
Well, so much for me talking my way through this. Thank you for healing, dog. Okay, so now you've met a more violent end. Could I get not the bad ending this time? Much better. Ah, the thing we saw earlier.
The defeat of Lucan and his henchmen, coupled with your freeing of the ghost of Bessie Toon, enabled Shrouded Hills to grow and become a thriving community once again. A new silver vein is discovered in the old Bessie Toon mine. Workers pour into town by the dozens, and within a few years, Shrouded Hills is a bustling boomtown. Such towns often have problems keeping the peace. Shrouded Hills has no such trouble, mainly due to the efforts of their new sheriff, Doc Roberts.
Excellent.
Don Throg, because of the advice that you gave him, became a leading political activist in the fight for Orcish rights. In time, he legalized Orcish labor unions, secured the vote for all citizens regardless of race or gender, and became the champion of equal rights and justice in Tarant. Before long, he was begrudgingly voted into the Industrial Council, and in a few years, he sat at its head.
Nice.
Following the deaths of Pollock and Darian Mogg, the Boyle was demolished and then built anew. The Bentley was renovated and became the most elegant hotel in Tarant. The owner, the Honorable Mr. Caleb Molloy, is often seen mixing drinks for his guests in the hotel bar.
Excellent.
Maximilian was returned to Dernholm, and all of Cumbria rejoiced in the return of their rightful king. Under the new rule of Maximilian, Cumbria quickly grew into a powerful nation, embracing both magic and technology. And once again, the proud banner of the Dragon Knights flew from the ramparts of Dernholm Castle, set there by their new captain, Liana Peldar.
I kept saying Cumbria instead of Cumbria.
Because of your outstanding efforts in negotiating the terms for Caledon's membership into the Unified Kingdom, as well as the wise governing policies of Don Throg, Caledon and Tarant became equally prosperous.
Yay!
There is peace for many years in Arcanum. The long-standing deception of the Panari by the Dark Elves was finally brought to light. Alexander became the new High Priest of the Panari, and he wrote a new chapter for the Archaon based on his experiences with the Living One.
Excellent.
Because you convinced the mayor of Blackroot to rejoin Cumbria, there is a small struggle between Maximilian and the Industrial Council concerning ownership of the town. Maximilian was determined to defend his own, and he was successful in doing so. Under the protection of their new king, Blackroot grew into one of the most important port cities in all of Arcanum.
Excellent.
Under the continued leadership of Loghaire Thunderstone, the Wheel clan came out of seclusion and rejoined the world. Loghaire himself lived for more than 800 years, and songs are still sung about his bravery and courage.
Excellent.
Khan Karai of the Bedokan made a lasting peace with the elves of Kintara, and together they rid the glimmering forests and the dark fens of poachers and of the spoilers of the land. In time, Bedokan became a more civilized people, sharing in the wonders of the new age.
All right.
Upon returning to Arcanum, Arronax buried his father on the Isle of Thanatos. Later he traveled to the Vendigroth Wastes, and there used his powers and single-handedly raised the city from the ruins it had become. Vendigroth again became a place of awe and wonder. Yet, after all of this, Arcanum is still what it always was, a place of possibility, a place of change. One thing is certain, and that is that nothing at all is ever certain in this place. Who's to say what the future holds for the land we call Arcanum?
Excellent. And to close this out, going to hit the credits key. So that was Arcanum. Wonderful game. I enjoy the fact that it does not take place within the usual high medieval or setting, which is great for a role-playing game, and doesn't just go right into science fiction, but rather into the world of steampunk, which for some reason has not been explored quite as much as other places. The multiverse conversion certainly had fixed a lot of things, but as you can see from this playthrough, it's still got work. Yeah, it's a fun game. I did not show you all of it, even though how many videos that I've uploaded. There's still a lot more. If you want to become a magic user, there's a whole bunch of other stuff you can do. If you want to be evil, there is a great deal of other stuff that you could do. I played a goody two-shoes. And even your race and your outward gender identity changes all sorts of stuff in this game. Because I chose both being a technologist, a half-orc, and a woman, I was playing this game kind of on hard mode, especially for the beginning there. But, of course, once you become, powerful enough, it doesn't matter too much. But, yeah, definitely a very fun game. I certainly enjoyed playing it. I'm surprised this is coming up as fewer videos than Septerracore. I expected this to last a much longer. I suppose I could have done some more mastery quests. Like I could have done the one for dodging and melee easily enough. But at that point, it's like I knew I was just going to be doing firearms for the rest of the game. And yeah, once you get the Dorian Warbringer from Vendigroth, yeah, you become kind of a god. And all of the people who put in their voice, yeah, the voice acting, not too bad, actually. Rino Romano as Virgil actually is probably one of the best ones. He definitely has a great sort of presence. Stuff that I wouldn't mind seeing some changes. Is it just me, or is this game kinda, sort of, uncomfortably white? Not one time throughout this entire game did we come across any person of color. Yeah, that just sort of feels a little, comfortable. Maybe that's just me. You know, I know this game's only 20 years old, but yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't mind of seeing a bit more stuff about, that wasn't about either combat or, direct, persuasion. Like, you know, you could have had things where, your knowledge of, being an inventor or a magician would be able to help you out a lot more. But in this game, most of your abilities to do conflict resolution is combat with a little bit of persuasion. And I really would have enjoyed if I could have beaten this game using the persuasion method because, yeah. But for some reason, this version of the game is bugged so that if you do that, it assumes that you've joined Kerghan, which is not the case, but whatever. Anyway, when we come back, not a role-playing game. Something a little bit different, but fun. Anyway, thanks all for sticking with me, and have a great day.